I would take the train downtown every day, come into Union Station, and walk to my office, on Wacker Drive. And I would see the same individuals in the same spot every day, asking for donations. And I said, how do we change this? How do you change the outcome?
No one says, oh, you're born poor. This is the manual of how you figure out how to navigate life because you're poor. No one does that. We can't walk the journey for the clients that come to us. We can only guide.
In July of '96, Roberta Friend and a few other people opened Goldie's Place.
And then you have Joy and Johanna, the two other founders of the organization. And then when you think of those three women, you think of three women who collectively came together to selflessly help a community that needed help.
It became a passion because we all could be homeless at one point in our lives, and trying to help people that are looking for a place in society and their teeth are all messed up. This way they can have a smile, and I think we've helped a lot of people in that regard.
I started with Goldie's when it first opened in 1997. I was homeless. I had been homeless, and I had a very bad toothache. I looked up at Dr. Bill and said, I don't know whether to kiss you or slap you. And so he took me out of pain and gave me antibiotics and then had me to come back to his office. And that's when he asked me, did I know anybody that wanted to volunteer, and I did. I learned a lot. Just by watching Bill, I learned a lot. And when I first started, he used to call me Radar, and I asked him a while back, why did you call me Radar? And he said, because I didn't have to ask for stuff, you just automatically did it. So it was like, that's kind of neat.
If our clients are coming from the south side or from the west side to our north side location to get services, and we understand it's a struggle for them to come to the far north side to receive services, we are not being a great community partner because we need to go where that individual is coming from.
And I went to one of the south side pre-screening events. They just kind of leveled me out a little bit, saying you're going to need this first in order to be able to take that stepping stone to get back to where you're more comfortable with in the career field, the work industry that I'm used to working in. But fortunately, it was something that was much greater than what I expected at the end of the process. And now I'm able to sit on the other side of the table. I'm able to really use my own personality, use my heart and my effort to do the same thing. And in communities that really don't see that, really don't get that feeling, that personal touch, it's something that's absolutely amazing to me, and it's changing my life every single time I go out, and seeing other people being touched by Goldie's Place service is absolutely amazing.
We're going to look at how do we address you getting to stability, giving them the tools to become employable. We make the process easier for employers by understanding not only what skill set is required, but what the company's culture actually is. Because when you understand a company's culture, you understand how they operate. When you understand how they operate, you know when they're trying to deliver the services to their customer base, what that's going to look like. So you know who to connect them with.
Greg was hired to sweep around our shop in Chicago, and he showed us, that he loved the idea of working not just in the shop, but he was interested in working in anything in the field that we did. He was trained on the technology side of this business, became not just a high-end technology guy on this crew, but then also became the foreman of this crew. He's got a house back, he's got his family back, and he was just a great guy. Goldie's would check to see how things are going. The relationship was amazing, the results were amazing, and I know that Goldie's does some great things. He was positioned well in work, right, with the right boots on, the right clothes on, everything. I mean, we take this stuff for granted. It's not easy to be ready for work every day when you're not sleeping in a normal home or a normal bed, right?
The mission of Goldie's Place, something that we don't put on the website, something that we don't put on a t-shirt, is Goldie's Place treats people like people. The homeless population, those who are at risk for homelessness, they're not always given the respect that you would treat a person with. A couple of decisions in the opposite direction, and that could be us.
I had a challenge of losing my job. The company that I worked for moved to another city, and I decided to take the money and run. And when I did that, employment wasn't as readily available. so I wind up being homeless. I kind of felt like an outcast, and that's how people treated me. But when I got to Goldie's place, it's like I finally went somewhere where people didn't treat me different. They treated me like a person. And when I saw the clothes closet and I saw it was an opportunity to get my tooth fixed, I kind of got encouraged. It gave me hope. And I decided that maybe I can, look for a job and get back on my feet. But I was one check away from homelessness. And a lot of us are one check away from being homeless. It's not just, one group of people that are homeless. It's a lot of us. We come from all walks of life.
Your donation supports Goldie's in a number of different ways, and we have an impact on the community because we impact people. If you look at each part of Goldie's, we have a team of people that help the dental clinic, help on the employment side, help on the clothes closet. So the team that works at Goldie's is focused on getting outputs.
Because there's not a person who works at Goldie's Place who's not committed to doing what we do. Not just for the last 22 years, but for the next 22 years.
And having the type of team that Goldie's Place has, it's believable for those who want hope.